Hello, good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Friday, November the 2nd. November deuce. Welcome to our morning market update. It's the last one of the week, so it's a little sad. I'm going to move this camera and hope it doesn't freeze. Did it freeze? You guys still see me? All right, well, that's good. Donald, tell me if it froze. Welcome to our morning market update. Today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Apple earnings, Friday's non-farm payrolls that came out for the month of October, Donald Trump rumors and trade news, and that's it. That's enough. It's a lot of stuff already. All right, so first, let's get started with some of the earnings. Yesterday, after the closing bell, we got the highly anticipated Apple earnings. Everybody was watching them. I was watching the futures sticking around the office a little bit extra, waiting to see what kind of impact it would have. Apple was down as much as 7% on soft guidance. So let me give you the report and break this down for you and show you why there was a little bit of downside momentum in Apple. However, it's being shrugged off at the moment. Markets still managed to rally higher without Apple. But I think if Apple continues lower after the opening bell today, it's going to pull markets down with it. Apple's a massive company, one of the biggest, and it's going to do what it's going to do. And if it triggers sell stops and the stock continues to sell, markets are going to correlate down with it. Follow Apple very closely today. Post earnings, it's a high correlatory trade opportunity. All right, they reported $2.91 of earnings per share versus $2.79 expected on revenue of $62.9 billion versus $61.5 billion for the quarter of revenue. $62 billion of revenue in one quarter. All right, Apple's huge. That's what we're saying. And then you're going to say, well, George, that all sounds good, right? Well, it is good until you start to look at the future prospects. Remember, stock markets don't value what is at the moment. They try to value the future as well. That's kind of the important aspect to it. With a growth stock like Apple, although some people like me would argue it is no longer a growth stock, Apple's in the mature part of its phase. Innovation has slowed down significantly. It's converting its products to paying revenue generating products, hasn't innovated anything new in a long time. All right. Oh, well, you can put your finger on your phone and it knows your fingerprint. So that's great. So their iPhone shipments came out at 46.9 million versus 46.7, slightly higher, but not that great. iPad shipments 9.7 million versus 10.3, lower unit sales in the iPad. Mac shipments 5.3 versus 5.4. That's also a miss. And here's what the traders didn't like. Apple, basically, Tim Cook said this is the last quarter they're going to be reporting shipping units. And then he used a ridiculous example. He said if you're at the grocery store and you're checking out with a cart full of stuff, the cashier doesn't ask you how many items you have. It's about the value of what's in the cart. Great. Awesome analogy. Dumb in many ways. Makes sense in some. Here's where that doesn't make sense. The number of units in your cart should correlate to the overall value over a long stretch of consuming. Obviously, if you get, some of those, what's the most expensive product inside of a grocery store? I don't know. Meat, not even, man. Maybe like an organic jar of honey, like grandma's honeybees, or I don't know. Fish oil. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is, but point is, it is correlated. Value of a cart is correlated to sales, not reporting sales to the market. That the traders don't like that because they get a lower perception of what the actual health of Apple is. Now, Apple argues that they're not a hardware unit provider anymore. They're saying, we're maturing our business. A lot of revenue is coming from the cloud. The number of shipments of units doesn't really help judge our company on a valuation. I'll tell you what that means. That means Apple's not anticipating on shipping any more hardware units. If they expect it to have positive numbers quarter over quarter, you better bet your butt that they're going to continue to report them. And to continue to report them till the cows come home. But now that they're starting to taper off a little bit, they're expecting lower overseas unit sales, especially in China with Huawei starting to really take over the market and get a foothold in it. They're going to expect lower unit sales. It's being offset for the moment for cloud services, but their hardware business is still near and dear to their heart, and they're not reporting. That's where the Apple report was kind of infuriating, or if you will, downside for the overall market. They did good. Revenue was decent. Earnings per share was awesome. It's just the future guidance was soft, and they're not happy that they're not reporting units anymore. All right, that's Apple. Apple pie. Starbucks up 9% after posting stronger revenues. Kraft Heinz down 7.3%. Warren Buffett is probably buying more today. GoPro down 16% after missing margins and having terrible battery life. I added that second part in there. But yeah, GoPro, do something about your battery, please. All right. So what caused this great rally overnight? We're going to get to non-farm payrolls after this. I think I booked this one really freaking tight. I got a lot of stuff in here. Wait, before we move on from Apple, equities are dumping. Wow. All right. Yeah, we're done with Apple. No more Apple stuff. Donald Trump yesterday had a call with President Xi from China, and they spoke, obviously, because they had a phone call, and they talked about productive issues. Donald Trump said it was a very good conversation, and they discussed menu issues over the phone. And then Bloomberg last night reports that Donald Trump had asked lawmakers to start drafting up some kind of formal legislation or some formal trade agreement after a phone call with President Xi. You can understand how that's going to be a very positive sentiment to equity markets. They were up 30 handles on the SPOOs. That's a big move. In summer, people will kill each other for 30 handles in one day. All right. If you're trading June, July, August, and you heard 30 handles, my mouth just got watery just thinking about that. It's delicious. But 30 handles is a lot for an overnight move, and it was on the back of this report. And then this morning, we hear that that's just a rumor. There's no such action. So now that's going from a risk-on sentiment to wait a minute. Now we're questioning this whole thing. Now you're seeing the market sell off. So that's kind of how we opened in this morning's session. On top of that, the Department of Justice in the United States is filing a grand jury indictment of a China-owned company that stole secrets from Micron Technologies, which is a U.S. company. All right. So that's kind of like, yeah, we got a good relationship. Boom, I'm hitting your state-owned company for IP theft, intellectual property. So that's a little bit of a mixed message there from the U.S. Interesting timing on that. So we had some upside overnight. Now that upside's gone. It is Friday. We headed into a non-farm payrolls on a strong market, but now we're giving up some of the gains. Where are we trading? How bad is it? 48, 41 quarters a level. So we have 7 points more to close off the overnight rally. So that's significant. Now we're down 20 points. All right. Markets in Asia up. Markets in Europe are up. Futures in the United States so far are up. All right. So let's not go by and go country by country. All of them are green across the board. Crude oil is down 0.2%. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin are providing a briefing on upcoming Iran sanctions on Monday, right? But they're providing that briefing today at 10:15. So 45 minutes after the open, look for a crap ton of volatility in the crude oil market. There's going to be something they're going to announce together in a joint press conference. That's at 10:15 today. That becomes a super high volatility event that everybody's going to be watching. Apparently, a lot of these Iran sanctions are going to have countries excluded from them. Oil's been rallying the last little bit in anticipation of sanctions, which means less supply into the oil marketplace. That's why the price is going up. Less supply, higher prices with equal demand. And now that we're finding out some countries are going to get a free pass to continue to buy from Iran, that sort of negates the purpose of it and is not as bullish of a thing. And now we've been seeing a pretty deep sell-off last couple of weeks, especially in crude oil. 10:15, watch out. That report's coming. Gold's flat, Bitcoin's flat. Non-farm payrolls this morning. I don't have too much time for them. Let me tell you this. They beat 250,000 jobs added versus 200,000 expected. Last month was 135,000. That was a terrible month. This month we're seeing an increase in jobs. Could it be because October is the start of seasonal effects and Christmas shopping? Absolutely. People are starting to hire early on in anticipation for consumption and a lot more retail traffic. All right, some jobs are being added there. Manufacturing payrolls were up. Prior change was revised lower last month from 134 to 118. So not only did last month suck, it was actually worse than it was reported. However, this 250,000 jobs more than offsets the last month revision. It's a green number. It's a positive report. All right, unemployment rate stayed at 3.7%. That's the lowest since 1969. Average hourly earnings did not increase. They came in line with the expected number and revised lower from the prior number. So people are making less money. You know, it's a tighter labor market. They're making less money, record low unemployment, and new jobs added in October, potentially for preparation for the holiday spending. Hurricane Michael had no impact on this. They said very limited impact. And so we got into a market where we had a strong jobs report after a strong overnight movement that was based on the foundation of a rumor that was then struck down. Obviously, the market's not going to take a non-farm payrolls report and rally upwards because it was already up 30 points on news that never really should have happened, right? It's a rumor report by Bloomberg. The question is this: how much of those 30 points can we hold on to as gains on the excitement of non-farm payrolls? All right, that's the real question. Donna says there's no video on YouTube Live. What the hell's going on with YouTube? Hang on, guys. I don't know. It froze. I look pretty at least when we're froze. Right? Right, guys? Comment if I look pretty. All right, there, we're back. Clearly, you guys don't agree. I'm not going out for dinner with you guys anymore. No drinks. You guys are all cut off. Gonna drink alone. All right. That's what we got on non-farm payrolls. We got Apple that did good, but not really that great. Non-farm payrolls are strong, but not really as strong as we need to hold up an allegation of a report that never should have happened. You're kind of waking up on a Friday like, what the hell is going on? I was trying to sort all this out. My brain was doing a little twitch because there was so much info to disseminate. Here's what I think. I think we go up still today. I still think we have a bullish day. Very strong mid part of the week until Friday. And I think today we close this S&P 500 nice and strong. Look for early morning selling. All right, sell rallies early on until momentum reverses, start buying dips. Look for a strong push into the close. I think we closed out the S&P 500 around 2765 area, which has been a level all week, and we're in it right now. And it's not that much higher at the moment, but we're going to see a sell-off first before we rally into the close. You guys trade careful out there. Remember, 10:15 big news regarding oil. Manage your risk, trade like a trade pro. I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. If you want to learn how to trade, there's a free training that we have. Go to tradeproacademy.com/free training. Click the link in the description, and we got you guys back. Mark's waiting for me to turn off the lights. So now I think this is a good time to get into a rant. No? All right. All right, that's all I got for you. Take care. Have a good weekend. Stay out of trouble. I will not bail you out if you get in too much of it. But have fun. Enjoy yourselves. Great week this week. Next week, there's going to be volatility. We got midterm elections. Oh, there is a rant. Sorry, Mark. Midterm elections next week on Tuesday, the 6th of November. We're going to be trading that live with our. Yeah, so you want to trade live with these midterm elections? Trade live with us. Our elite team is going to open at 7 p.m. We're going to go until 1 a.m., 2 a.m., as long as it takes to capture this market opportunity. I traded the Donald Trump elections in 2016. Huge opportunity. The market dropped 5%. And we're there for the whole thing. Imagine getting a 5% drop. It's 150 points or something like that in S&P 500 in a couple hours. Huge opportunity. Come out and trade with us. And if you do sign up and you have a 14-day money-back guarantee and you don't like it, you can trade with us and then request a refund. So that's the awesome part. There's no guarantee. It's risk-free. It's the only time you get that in the market. Take care. Have a great day and an awesome weekend. We'll see you next Sunday coming up. All the best. Cheers. What do you think, Vicky? About how pretty I look, obviously. Wow, S&P 500 really dumped. How about those 41 quarters, team? Anyone in the elite room today when we're talking about the non-farm payrolls, we said short. We did have a stop at 54.5, so, ultimately you had a chance to scratch. Then it popped, drops right below the VWAP. Sell rallies there, we get it back down. 41 quarters area we're watching for. Oil prices at 63 even. Holy crap, oil's weak. All right, let's set up some trade ideas. I'm going to do S&P 500. Vic's going to do NASDAQ. Then I'll flip it back to me to do oil. No, he's nice. Come back Monday. We got great trades set up. It's going to be a huge day. Let's jump into it right now.